Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to the Ministry of Education and Partners COVID-19 Teaching by Radio program. The Ministry of Education and Partners COVID-19 Teaching by Radio program is a 30-minute radio intervention support program that is meant to provide continuous instruction to keep you academically engaged during this stay-at-home period, as well as preparing you, our 6th, 9th, and 12th graders for the pending Liberia Primary School Certificate Exam, Liberia Junior High School Certificate Exam, and West Africa Senior Secondary Certificate Exam when the time comes. Also, in addition to this academic support, the program is meant to provide psychosocial support for learners, teachers, and parents, and also tips on how you as parents and teachers can provide support to your students and children at home. Now, let's join our teacher for today's lesson.
Hello, boys and girls. I am Dr. Charles Gbollie, and our subject for today is Social Studies. It is for everyone, particularly for grade 9 students. What is our focus for today? Well, our focus is on the West African region. Again, our focus is on the West African region. Please take your pencil, pen, and copybook and get ready for today's lesson. Again, it's my pleasure to welcome you to this edition, and let's learn together. As you prepare, let's listen to this very important message.
Coronavirus spreads via droplets. When the person coughs or sneezes, the droplets land on surfaces and are picked up on the hands of others and spread further. People catch the virus when they touch their infected hands to their mouth, nose, or eyes. It follows that the single most important thing you can do to protect yourself is keep your hands clean by washing them frequently with soap and water or hand sanitizer.
Yes, your safety is very important. Welcome back. In today's lesson, which is focusing on the African region, these are our objectives. They are to identify countries in the West African region and their official languages. Again, our first aim for this lesson is to identify countries in the West African region and their official languages. To describe the geographical location of West Africa and to learn about these countries and how they work together. Again, our objectives for today's lesson are to identify countries in the West African region and their official languages, to describe the geographical location of West Africa, and to learn about how these countries work together or cooperate. Well, learners, those are the things we intend to achieve or learn in this lesson. Why do we need to learn this lesson? We need to learn this lesson because we must be aware of our country, its region, and other countries as well. I believe that you are ready and prepared, so let's get going into our lesson for today. You remember earlier when I said our subject for today is Social Studies, and it is for everyone, particularly for grade 9 students? Very good. You are a smart learner. Thanks. I said it's for everyone because everyone has the ability to learn whatever he or she wants to learn. Yes, you have the ability to learn whatever you desire or you want to learn. Right now, it may seem very simple or challenging, but still, you can learn it. It's possible. If it is simple, it helps you to remember it quickly. But if it is hard, it may take you some time for you to learn it. For example, for 6th grade learners, this lesson may seem challenging. However, for 12th graders, it may be like review for them, or it may look simple. For 9th graders, it may be between simple and challenging. That's what we normally teach to a class. Why am I telling you this? I am telling you this because I want you to learn as many lessons as possible on this radio and others. I want you to begin learning whatever you desire to learn. This is my advice for you. Thank you for accepting my advice. It will help you to learn more and more. Having said that, boys and girls, let's move to the main parts of our lesson for today, the West African region. Take a few seconds and think about the topic we are going to talk about today. That's good. It's good to think most of the time. Now, let's begin by saying that the West African region is among the regions of the continent of Africa. There are 5 main regions in Africa: North, South, West, East, and Central. Today, we are looking at West Africa. Let's look at our keyword, region. What does it mean, boys and girls? Well, region means a subdivision of a city, a territory, a country, or a continent. Again, region simply means a subdivision of a city, a territory, a country, or a continent. For instance, in Liberia, we may say the Central region for counties such as Bon, Nimba, Grand-Bassa, and Magidi. Now, I want to ask you one question. Are you ready for it? Good. My first question to you is, do you know how many countries are there in West African region? If you say 16 countries, you are correct. If not, it's okay. You'll get it next time. Just keep trying. Don't worry. There are 16 countries in West Africa. Of these 16 countries, 5 are English-speaking countries. When we say English-speaking countries, we mean that countries that have their official language or the main language of communication to be English. So in the West African region, there are 5 of those countries that speak English. For example, when we are in meeting, when we are in the office, or even at home, government offices, or when the president is speaking, this is the language they use to communicate to most of the people in the country. So in West Africa, we have 5 English-speaking countries. They are, of course, Liberia is number 1, Sierra Leone, the Gambia, Nigeria, and Ghana. Again, the 5 English-speaking countries in West Africa are Liberia, Sierra Leone, the Gambia, Nigeria, and Ghana. And then there are 9 French-speaking countries. also in West Africa. This means that we have more French-speaking countries in West Africa than English-speaking countries. The French-speaking countries are Senegal, Guinea, Burkina Faso, Côte d'Ivoire, sometimes we call it Ivory Coast, Togo, Benin, Niger, Mali, and Mauritania. So those are the French-speaking countries in West Africa. Let me name them one more time for you so you get it correctly. They are Senegal, Guinea, Burkina Faso, Côte d'Ivoire, Togo, Benin, Niger, Mali, and Mauritania. How many countries are we left with from the 16 countries? That's 5 plus 9 is what? Good, 14. So we are left with 2 more countries for us to make it 16 countries. The other 2 countries are Cape Verde and Guinea-Bissau. These 2 countries speak Portuguese. They speak what? Portuguese. So Portuguese is the main language they speak when they are doing business or when they are communicating almost to the entire nation or in public gathering. Thank you so much for the progress. Let's move to another part of our lesson, which is to locate the West African region. So do you know where we can find the West African region? Or do you know where the West African region is located? If you have the map of Africa in the house, please go for it or just look at it. If you don't have, no problem at all. I'm still going to show you where we can find West Africa. So for those who have the map, could you please identify the West African region and then see the countries that border it? Beautiful. Well, I like your participation. You are all special learners and you become great people in the society if you keep learning. Alright, in past lessons, we also learned about bordering or countries that border Liberia. For example, we say Liberia is bounded by this, Liberia is bounded by that. Do you still remember that? I guess you do. We said that Liberia was bounded on the north by Guinea, on the south by the Atlantic Ocean, on the west by Sierra Leone, and on the east by Côte d'Ivoire or Ivory Coast. We want to do the same thing for the West African region, okay? We want to show where the West African region can be found. So when you have the map, you will realize that the West African region is bordered by Libya, Algeria, and the Southern Sahara on the north. So when you look up of the map, you see Libya, you see Algeria, and you see the Western Sahara on the north. When you look on the eastern part, like on your right, you'll see countries such as Chad and Central African Republic on the east. When you look to the west part, which is like your left, is bordered by the Atlantic Ocean. And on the south, maybe down part, maybe looking on the ground or so, you will see that the West African region is bordered on the south by the country of Equatorial Guinea, Gabon, and the Democratic Republic of Congo. So that's the location of the West African region. Let me go through it one more time, but very fast. Are you ready to capture or to correct something? Yes, I like smart learners. Good. All right. We said that West Africa is bordered by Libya, Algeria, and Southern Sahara on the north, and Chad and Central African Republic on the east. To the west part, we say it is bordered by the Atlantic Ocean, and to the south by Equatorial Guinea, Gabon, and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Let's listen to this very important message.
What are the symptoms of COVID-19? COVID-19 symptoms include cough, fever, shortness of breath. In rare cases, COVID-19 can lead to severe respiratory problem, kidney failure, or death. If you have a fever or any kind of respiratory difficulty, such as coughing and shortness of breath, call your doctor.
Welcome back. Now we learn about the location of the West African region. Thank you so much for following this talk. So now, what else are we going to know? We're going to know two things about the countries in the West African region. One, we have two keywords. I want you to spell these words correctly. So I'm going to help you to spell them so you can get them correct. The first word is coastline. Coastline. Coastline is spelled as C-O-A-S-T-L-I-N-E. Coast plus line is coastline. C-O-A-S-T-L-I-N-E. Coastline. And then the second word is landlocked. Landlocked. So L-A-N-D, L-O-C-K-E-D. Again, L-A-N-D, L-O-C-K-E-D. Landlocked. So we are using these two terms to describe or group the countries in the West African region. Among the countries in the West African region, we have some of them that are on the coastline. When we say coastline, it means they are by the sea or near the sea. For example, Liberia is on the west coast of Africa, meaning, for example, if you go around ELWA, Central Monrovia, or West Point, you will see the ocean. That's why we are talking about coastline. So the countries that are near the coastline, and we have other countries that are not near the coastline. These are the countries we call landlocked countries. So the countries that are not on the coastline are called landlocked countries. Again, the meaning of landlocked is that they have no sea borders or they are surrounded by land. So you have gotten the concept of coastline and landlocked, right? Beautiful. So let me name the countries quickly. The coastline countries are Nigeria, Benin, Togo, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire or Ivory Coast, and Liberia. Then we have Sierra Leone, Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, the Gambia, Senegal, and Mauritania in the western part. The three landlocked countries are Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. Great job so far. You are amazing boys and girls. Thanks for the progress. At this time, I would like us to take a short break to listen to this very important message. When we come back after this message, we'll learn about how these countries work together.
What are the symptoms of COVID-19? COVID-19 symptoms include cough, fever, shortness of breath. In rare cases, COVID-19 can lead to severe respiratory problem, kidney failure, or death. If you have a fever or any kind of respiratory difficulty, such as coughing and shortness of breath, call your data.
So welcome back to class. Please take all the preventive measures to keep safe. We told you that we're going to talk about how these countries work together. Now, do you know the saying, no man is an island? If you have heard it before, that's good. If you haven't, well, today you've heard it. It is true. It simply means that we all depend on one another. I depend on you and you depend on me. Liberia is depending on you. Okay? So the countries that are in the region also depend on one another. In this light, these countries in the West African region work together. The main reason that brought them together, if we put it into two words, we say economic responsibility, meaning that they need to do business, they need to partner with one another. Part of this partnership, they formed a body called ECOWAS. ECOWAS is an acronym. An acronym is a combination of letters together to make a word. So ECOWAS is the Economic Community of West African States. This body was formed in 1975. So all the countries in West Africa are part of it, except Mauritania that withdrew in 2000. The main aims of this body is to make sure we are self-sufficient in food production, meaning that we need rice, we need cassava, we need plantain, we need different kinds of food, right? Yes. So part of what ECOWAS does is to make sure we are self-sufficient in food production. They also help to promote better cooperation among member states in terms of trade, like business, industry, energy, like maybe electricity, transportation, communication. They also encourage free movement, the ECOWAS passport, have you heard about it? Yes. If you are part of ECOWAS, you can travel to any ECOWAS countries with ECOWAS passport. So you see how they have been working together? Yes, they have been working together to promote cooperation. When we had some problem in our country, like during a conflict, ECOWAS came and helped to keep or restore peace. So you see, another small body is the Mano River Union that also was formed between Liberia and Senegal to promote trade and economic cooperation. Great job, learners. This is how we come to the close of our lesson for today. But before we take a leave of you for this lesson, let me just remind you very quickly, because we are running out of time, let me remind you very quickly about the things we've learned today. We've learned about, or we identified countries in the West African region and their languages. We said there are 16 countries in the West African region, 5 are English-speaking countries, and 9 are French-speaking countries, then 2 are Portuguese-speaking countries. We also told you the location of the West African region and how these countries work together. Wonderful! I want you to keep studying your notes and so forth. But before I leave you, I want to give you one assignment. Alright? Are you prepared for it? Good. So this is the assignment for you. Select 4 to 5 countries of your choice in the West African region and learn more about them. Again, select 4 to 5 countries of your choice in the West African region and learn more about them. For example, their climate, their vegetation, their agriculture, and economic activities. Thanks very much, boys and girls. If you have any questions or need clarification on today's lesson, please text it to the following numbers: 0886 554 670 or 0777 554 670. Until we come your way next time, please continue to study. I am Dr. Charles Gbollie. I have been your teacher for today. Thank you very much.